Hey guys, welcome back to the garage. Another update on the Moto Guzzi here, 1972 Eldorado. So we've been working on the clutch stuff. I did get that complete cut clutch kit in from MG Cycles and wanted to thank them for that. That was very fast shipping, very friendly to message back and forth. I'll show you, I'll spin the camera around here. There's a little bit on the transmission. After talking with Tucker a little bit, he's never replaced the seals on it. I guess the input and output shaft seals. So I'm not gonna put that back in there until those seals come in. And I just ordered them from MG Cycles, as well as a couple other little gaskets and O-rings. But let me spin the camera around and show you what we've got going on so far. And yeah, the clutch looks good in there. So hang tight and we'll spin you around. All right, little Moto Guzzi update here. So this is Moto Guzzi Eldorado 72. Anyway, so I got the clutch in, my alignment tool worked, and all torqued down, new washers, Loctite on the flywheel ring gear. Everything is centered. I just have to put this little push rod piece in there, which just lays on there. Transmission update, new seals came in. Replaced this seal, the input shaft seal. Here's the old one, very hard and brittle. That was a no bueno going back together with that. That would leak. This new reduction gear, that's what I call it anyway. This comes down from the clutches on this size into the input shaft this size. So much nicer fit for sealing purposes. New fill drain plug as the earlier one. The little one was stripped out, and new washer. So it's all good to go. I will wait and top this back up with fluid gear oil when I get it put back in, but this is ready to go in once I put the new lock washer and nut on this here. So little Moto Guzzi update. And anyway, stay tuned. We'll keep moving on. All right, so there we have it. There is the clutch that is in. So I'm using, from some videos I've seen, this reducing collar. This is actually comes with the clutch kit. It goes onto the transmission. I'll show you that in a second. I'm using this because there is two clutch discs in here with a new, I don't know, it's almost like just a metal disc between the two clutch discs. So I did fabricate my own kind of press down thing. They make a tool for that, but I found the correct washers. I did find the right bolt. That is a 12 millimeter by 1.50 thread pitch. And I just bought a couple big washers. So, you know, when you put that little pressure plate in there, one of the tricks I did see from somebody else, because if the engine is sitting in the bike like this, there is six, I believe it's 6 springs that are around it, and they will tend to want to fall out. So just a small drop of super glue, and I set the springs on them, and boy, they stuck just perfectly. So then when you put that in there, you have to compress that plate. You have to press those springs, and that is what that bolt and washer is doing. So when I'm ready, these I assume are not case hardened bolts. Nowhere I've seen anywhere that states that, but I am wanting to put some new split washers, I think, underneath here, and I'll do a little more investigative work to make sure I'm using the right stuff before I button all that up. I'll tighten that up. You'll loosen this back out, but again, this is there. So you use that, and of course you'll measure the distance here versus the distance here. It's obviously, you can see it, the clutches move around right now. So you'll need to get that centered, and then I can release that. But anyway, that's where we're at on that. Once we get that back in, I'll be able to then move the transmission back over onto it. But let me show you on the transmission over here what's going on. So I did find out that this here, this little bitty bolt. So this is no more than used to fill the transmission. It's one of those where you, the drain plug's here, you remove this and you fill it till it spills out, and then you tighten that back up. The seal was bad there, and this little bolt is, the threads are rounded off. They're kind of stripped. So I did find another bolt that works perfectly, and got this one from Home Depot. It is a 10 by 1.50, and of course then a 2-pack. But so I ordered new seals for that. Ordered new seal for the this seal here. I noticed when I was putting that new gear back in here, there was no resistance on this seal, so that's what made me question Tucker about that. And that's the same seal that's back here as well. So I'm going to replace both seals. It's the exact same seal, and then this will be ready to go back onto the bike. So, all right, so we got new clutch stuff from MG Cycles. Very fast shipping, very friendly to deal with. So the two clutch discs are in, the new center plate is in, using this new, I'm not familiar with, this is like the output gear off the transmission, steps it up to the clutches, just using this to help align the two together. And then we're fixing to bolt the actual pressure plate on top of the flywheel, and yeah, we'll just try to see if we can get those things lined up exactly, and all's going well. This is a nice updated clutch kit from them, so shout outs to MG Cycles. Okay, so here's the, I guess this would be the pressure plate. It's going to be what goes on top of this here. I'm pretty certain those are not hardened bolts that are around this, but I am going to have to find some new lock washers, as the ones that Tucker had put in there were split. So not sure what caused that, but anyway, I think it's looking pretty good. All right, so Moto Guzzi update. Again, 1972 Eldorado 850. So we've got the new clutch in, flywheel bolted back on, and my tool worked perfectly. So we got everything aligned. So next we're working on the transmission. I put a new seal in. Let's go there. All right, so I replaced this seal, which is very hard and brittle, and put a new seal in. Got these again from MG Cycles, Moto Guzzi Cycles. This piece comes with the new clutch kit, and wow, what a different fit. There, you know that's sealed now. So I got seals replaced on the front, the input and the output shaft. So that's good. We're fixing to lock everything back down with the new washer and nut, and then we'll be ready to install the transmission back on the bike. All right, so I'll flip the camera around and show you a little bit better viewpoint of what we got done. So again, transmission's back on, starter's back on. My little clutch compression tool that I made worked perfectly. Centered the clutch up, used the original reduction output shaft reducer. I don't know what you actually Moto Guzzi calls it, but you'll see it in the video. I'll put a picture of it up here. To line the two clutch discs up for the splines. That went in with no problem. Got the transmission back mounted. Again, starter's on, carburetors are back on, the air breather's back on. I got the cover to the generator belt back on. And yeah, so I think that's kind of it for the night. Thinking next step is going to be, we got all the drive shaft parts here, rear end over here, and then rear trailing arm back over that way. We'll go ahead and complete this out here, get the rear wheel back on. Probably we'll go ahead and maybe get tires ordered and get them in, so not kind of duplicating effort, putting on, taking off. So anyway, y'all be sure to hit like and subscribe. The Tucker, the one who owns this bike, my youngest stepson, their aircraft carrier just got moved down to Venezuela. So to kind of help support the, what you want to call it, the trying to intercept any of this drug stuff that President Trump sent down that way. So anyway, they're headed that way again. All right, good evening, everyone. This is a Moto Guzzi update. So we have got the transmission back in. Obviously, the clutch is in. All that made it up just perfectly. We got the carburetors back on. The vent case breather right here back on. Starter back on. So let me give you a little close-up shot of that. Still working on remembering where all these other pieces went. So the next evening, I'll be working on putting the rear trailing arm back on and rear wheel and the drive shaft, obviously right here. We'll get all that stuff buttoned back up before I start working on the electrical, making sure all the generators wired up correctly, the starters wired up correctly, and then obviously static timing the points and the distributor. So we can get close when we throw a battery to it and see if we can get this thing fired up. So anyway, hopefully the next step will be the rear end part back together so we can get it back on its two wheels. And then we'll start working on the electrical. So just want to give y'all an update. So stick around, be sure to hit like and subscribe. Check out the other videos that are leading up to this right here. I'll put a couple of them up here. And again, thanks for stopping by, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Be good. Again, this is a project that I'm trying to get done for him before he returns. And so it'll be sometime next year. We are getting wind from somebody else that maybe their deployment has been extended for a few months. So it might be sometime well into the spring of next year. But anyway, as you can see, it's coming along. Frame's nice and shiny. Again, he built the engine. I fixed some stuff on the transmission, fixed some strip bolt holes and new clutch. Everything's new inside there. So that should work perfectly. But again, I appreciate you. Lift up a prayer for our military. Give a good thumbs up for them. And just appreciate all they do for us and for our freedom. So Tuck, I appreciate you. And we'll catch up on the next go around. Y'all have a good evening.